what is the dish you are proudest of that you feel like you can weigh it whatever you want, the difficulty of it or whatever, but the guest was like, that's grandma's or whatever.
Yeah. Gordon Ramsay, we made him a perfect beef Wellington. Specifically, our guy Trevor.
I love Gordon Ramsay. I'm also terrified of Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
And I know from watching Gordon Ramsay, he always says, he's yelling it, that the beef Wellington is the hardest thing to get right.
Yeah, it sure is.
If I got that email, I probably would have erased it and be like, I don't know what happened. We missed one. Yeah, you only give us 4.
Yeah, we got your In-N-Out burger and the chicken wings, but we didn't get the...
I don't know, man.
Beef Wellington, are you even known for beef Wellington? Have you had that before?
I'll check. Oh, it's not any. I can't find it anywhere because I think that would be very nerve-wracking. What was the vibes like in the kitchen making that?
Dude, I remember walking around the kitchen with a giant whisk like I was General Patton, just going, this is our D-Day, boys! Yes! And it really was, because that was, Gordon Ramsay, one, it's our highest viewed episode, the 21 million views, which is crazy. But then 2, this is a dude that doesn't take shit. So if it's a bad dish, he's going to tell you it's a bad dish.
Doesn't take shit in this arena. It's like, you brought you brought the general to the battleground he's used to fighting on. It's literally, it's insane.
It was nuts. And then our boy Trevor, who is a classically trained pastry chef.
Okay.
And frankly, the toughest thing to get right is the actual pastry.
The outside.
So we're like, Doug, you got the pastry, and he made it beautifully. And timing it is really tough. The other thing, if you make a mac and cheese, you can taste the mac and cheese and then kind of patch it over and serve it, whatever. You can't cut open a beef Wellington, so you have no idea what the inside looks like until it hits the table. So this just beautiful pastry log hits the table, and I'm shaking cutting into it, and then I cut into it and see that it's a perfect medium rare, and it's layered, and it's beautiful. And Gordon Ramsay, I don't know if people know this, he's the one that put beef Wellington back on the map. It was viewed as this super stodgy, old school kind of Frankified English dish, and he made it cool and lighter and sexy again. So he is beef Wellington, even off camera, in terms of culture, he brought that back.
Yeah, and much like beef Wellington, he don't let anyone cut to the inside of him. But I felt like you did. I felt like you physically and metaphorically beef Wellington Gordon Ramsay.
Wellington his ass. Take that. He's a fascinating guy, man.
He really is.
Because I was very interested to get at the actual truth of why he yells at people so much. Because a lot of people write it off as this is him having a camera persona that Fox loved 25 years ago of him screaming at people.
Yes.
And now they're exploiting that. But I've always seen a deep truth in that. And I got to the reason why in that episode.
Yeah. What was the reason? Because I need Johannes to hear this because he's always like, you're yelling at me. And I'm trying to tell him something and I can never think of what it is because inside I'm just feeling rage. But I'll tell him this thing.
This might be able to open up something between you two. So Gordon Ramsay grew up in a really, really rough environment. His father had substance abuse issues and they were really poor. They lived in government housing. Gordon Ramsay,
outside the Right Now podcast studio.
Yes. Okay. The second studio up in Scotland, but similar vibes.
Yes.
But Gordon Ramsay had early mentors in his life. He played soccer at a very high level. So he had these really gruff coaches that some would view as abusive, but he viewed that as tough love that he needed. And then he gets into the world of, the culinary arts. And then that is a tremendously abusive world, but he has these strong mentors like Marco Pierre White who are yelling at him, telling him that they want him to be better. The reason he's nice to kids is because they don't know any better. They're kids. But he's like, when you have a consenting adult who has made a business decision, whether it's in Kitchen Nightmares for the restaurants or going on MasterChef, he goes, I owe it to them to give them the same respect that people gave me in my career that made me who I am. And it's very genuine from him. And I don't know if I agree with it entirely, but my God, if that man does not believe what he does.
I see. So clip that, take it home, put it on your dumb little old school wired headphones. And next time you're like, Joe, why are you being so, just play that. That's why, dude.
He's not humiliating you. He's elevating you.
Because you played soccer at a high level with coaches yelling at you? I don't see that ever happening.
I love sports.
Name a sport. Name any sport.
Seeing.
Yeah.
You said seeing?
Seeing.
See.
I'm sure that's in the Olympics. See?
Yeah, it's kind of.
See, it's SEA.
Seeing. Yeah, they're on the water.
Yeah, they're on the water.
The
They're
water
going.
one. Okay.
They're seeing. They're like, yep, looks like waves. And everyone's like, gold medal. I think so.
Way to go, Tuvalu, for 7 gold.
Yeah. So I'm sure you've been asked this all the time, and you've actually stated many times what your last meal would be.
Yeah.
But taking a step back, what do you think you've learned about the correlation of someone to what they choose as a last meal?
Ooh, there's almost a little bit of a cognitive dissonance between what they want to be perceived as and what they actually are in a way. So there's some people, for instance, God, who was it recently? It was Alton Brown. It was Alton Brown, actually, who's one of my heroes, Food Network. He hosted Good Eats, taught me so much about food. He said that he was worried about having too many sort of like blue collar dishes because he thought that people wouldn't think he was fancy enough. And that came from this fact that he never felt like he fit in with this culinary elite. So he was the host of Iron Chef, which really brought on some of the best chefs in the world back in the 2000s. And he always felt like he was the odd man out because he grew up blue collar in Georgia, didn't work in fancy restaurants. And so there's this idea of like, people don't really change in a way. Like these wounds that you had when you're 12 years old, worried about not fitting in because the school lunch that you brought was different. Those things come through in people's last meals in a certain way. And I think maybe this is just me. Maybe there's a pill I can take to stop this, but I see a tremendous amount of sadness in a lot of guests that we have on. It's very fun for me and we have great times and we laugh, but there are these moments that I have where I look into someone's eyes and I'm like, man, you have everything in the world, and it's specifically everything in the world that I've been chasing, and there's still a deep melancholy within you.
Yeah.
You know?
You should clip that and you should watch that when you're home.
You're a beef, not Wellington. Wellington. You're like a.
Have you guys ever thought about, there's like couples counselors, but for professional relationships, where you guys could actually, or if you need a place to submit like an anonymous complaint, there's a great software that does that. I'll send you the info.
Okay,
actually.
awesome.
It's. I've actually found out they have like an ombudsman that you can like run. Scenarios.
Ombudsman, that's a Swedish word, but
Just,
Sweden.
just make sure to CC me on that email.
Yeah.